Okay. Next up, I don't know if y'all have been waiting for this or what. I've been excited to make this. Spoilers. Spoiler warning. This game's not even 2 weeks old yet. I think it's 2 weeks old today, actually. Legends ZA, we're going through all the Mega Pokemon, including the new ones. So, just getting that spoiler warning out there. Okay. You have been warned. Mega Pokemon tier list. I have been so amped to make this. You know, this is based both like things with a good competitive viability are gonna have some kind of a sway. But a lot of it's based on designs, especially the newer Pokemon, because they don't have abilities in ZA, so we don't know how good they're gonna be. But it will have a competitive doubles swing to it, but it will also have a heavy bias on if I just like it at all. So this is a not very objective tier list. I'm gonna hold off a second because we have an ad break starting in 18 seconds. So we're gonna take a pause. If anyone has a question, I have just enough time to answer a question. If not, I'll see you in like 2 minutes. Yo, Mint Badger, you're up just barely too late. Wait, you can't even hear me, dude. You don't subscribe? You don't miss the ads? Dude, ads take forever, man. Ads are going for another minute. Is that enough time to... Enough time for a bullet? Now we'll do a puzzle. You find a way to win my night. Let's go. Can I run two? Let's wait to move. You find out how to win material. Yeah. What are we looking for? Nice. Here we go. Find a way to end with a checkmate? Okay. Cool. Oh, looks like y'all are back. Okay, so Mint, you arrived just in time. You missed all the Hollow Knight stuff, so you avoided spoilers. But you're here just in time for the Mega Evolution tier list. There are 78 Mega Pokemon at this time, so heads up, there are spoilers. There will be spoilers. There will be plot spoilers. A little bit. If you have already had all the Mega Pokemon leaked, then you will know the two that are relevant to the plot. But I am putting that out there right now. There will be plot spoilers for Legend ZA. Okay, now getting into it. It's in Pokedex order, so the two spoilers are going to be towards the end. Mega Venusaur. His flower just gets bigger. You know, he's whatever. I have a bit of a hot take about the Mega Charizards, okay? Everyone says this one's cooler. I completely disagree. And I think people only think this one's cooler because of the color. I think if you made this one black and this one orange, everyone would say the black one was cooler. Even though this is a better shaped Mega. We're going to put this one at B tier, and I'm going to put the better shape at A tier. Also, it's better competitively. Last side is kind of boring. kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. I really love the design of Mega Beedrill. It makes me sad that he's not better competitively. You know, they gave him everything he needed, and he still wasn't able to get off the ground. You know, they gave him adaptability, they gave him crazy speed, they gave him crazy in attack, and it still doesn't work. It's like in JJK when Miwa says she's going to put everything she can behind this final sword slash, and Kenjaku just snaps the sword. You know, it's just, it makes you sad. It makes you sad because it's like potential man number one, you know. Mega Pidgeot. No Guard's really cool, but unfortunately for No Guard, it means not only are you going to hit your attacks, that's neat, but it means Stone Edge can't miss. Stone Edge and Rock Slide will always hit you, and that's super unfortunate. We don't know anything about the Mega Raichus, so this is just based off vibes. I like them both. I think this is like an okay, like inoffensive design. But I do actually enjoy the X. Clefable turning into Butterfly, you know, is neat enough. I think it was a nice step for it that I didn't expect. Kind of a lunar moth. You know, that's subverted expectations a smidge, and so I don't mind that. Mega Alakazam is straight to S tier. Some of you may know Alakazam's like in a top 5 Pokemon for me. I love him. I think he looks so much cooler as a Mega, and he's actually gonna be. I think he's gonna be great. You know, he has access to Expanding Force, and so he has a niche benefit of being one of the hardest hitting Expanding Force users in the game. You know, people hated on Mega Victory Bell. I think it's so funny. I don't think he's gonna be very good. So trying to combine the two of those, he's like a B tier. S tier design for me though. Once again, this is funny. I've never been a huge fan of the design. My biggest gripe is that Slowbro's tail sticks out. And the whole point is that the shell's on the tail. So like, is it saying like, I see that the shell's moving up around him. Does that mean the shell's like, is the tail coming out of the shell's anus now at this point? I don't like to think about that. I don't want that in my mind. So for that reason, I'm putting it F tier. Mega Gengar, we're going to say A tier. I think it's great. Something that soiled it for me a little bit recently is someone pointed out that it has feet. And it has the grossest, weirdest looking feet. We'll say back legs. Someone pointed out that it has back legs. And yeah, see? Look at this. What is that? I don't like that. And that's enough to drop it from S tier for me. Mega Kangaskhan. I think it's so funny that the kid grows up and it was really good. But the design's kind of lackluster. I wish they did more for Kangaskhan itself. If you say Mega Starmie isn't like an S tier design, you're tripping. If you say it just looks bad, you're wrong. It's phenomenal. You can't get better than this. You know, this is what peak male performance looks like. You know, and it's gonna be like the mixed attacker of all mixed attackers. This is the only Pokemon where we kind of know its ability, despite it coming out in Legend ZA where there are no abilities. And that's because Pokemon that rely on their abilities to do anything, being Mega Mawile and Mega Medicham, they have huge power and pure power respectively. And those double your attack stat, but because they don't have abilities, they actually got 140 point boost instead of the regular 100 boost. They each got an extra 40 to attack. Ironically, or strangely enough, I should say, so did Mega Starmie. Mega Starmie had the same thing happen. I got 140 points instead of just the 100. It has a really high attack stat. So we can be pretty certain that it's getting probably pure power, because that's the one Medicham has. Probably pure power with 100 base attack. So it's going to be a great mixed attacker. Mega Pincer, another one where they like gave it everything it needed, and it just, you know, despite being flying type now, it barely got off the ground. It gained an extra weakness to like a whole bunch of things. It's just, it looks neat. It's not the coolest. It's not the best. I think Mega Gyarados kind of looks weird. I wish they made him longer instead of chunky. I think the chunk is kind of weird. It kind of throws me off. And also it's a worse typing. It does its normal job worse than it used to. His goatee kind of weirds me out, but beyond that, I don't have any kind of an opinion about Mega Aerodactyl. Mega Dragonite's another one that I really enjoy the design of. I'm not a fan that they made him a special attacker though. Like, I understand why he looks a lot more majestic instead of just, you know, furious hit hard. But I don't understand why they tried to make him a special attacker. Okay. I think Finding Mewtwo is a terrible design. I mean, I guess I can see, you know, DNA splicing. One chases its physical attributes to push further, and one chases its mental attributes to push further. I get that. I understand where that's coming from. Doesn't make me a fan though. I think the Psychic one's a lot cooler. Anybody who knows me, Psychic is probably my all-time favorite. Like a build, like if I'm watching an anime and someone rocks up and they're a Psychic, instantly jumps my opinion of them like several tiers. And I'm willing to admit that. I think Mega Meganium looks stupid, but it's going to be a bulky nightmare. So B is for bulk. Again, people keep saying he looks like a... They keep saying that he looks like a toilet seat. I don't know if y'all have seen that. It makes me sad because it's complete slander. But Feraligatr does not look like a toilet seat. He looks like a friend. Mega Ampharos looks stupid. Its move pool is terrible. Not a fan of Mega Ampharos at all. Mega Steelix has probably like the single coolest, or one of the coolest designs, in my opinion. Off design alone, he'd be an A tier, but they're not particularly good, so we'll toss them in B. Mega Scizor, I'm not a huge fan of the design, but once again, competitive wise, you're not going to get a harder hitting priority move than Mega Scizor, Technician boosted, Stab, Bullet Punch. You know, there's not many priority moves that hit harder than that. Mega Heracross has the second highest attack stat in the game. I don't know who all needs to hear that. Unfortunately, it does. I hate the way it looks. It looks like Popeye. And it's not phenomenal, but I don't think it's bad enough for F tier. See, this is another controversial one. I'm a huge fan. I'm a massive fan of Mega Skarmory. A lot of people are saying it's terrible. They're like, it just looks like the same thing, but more. And that's what some of my favorite Mega designs are. It's just like the same thing, but a little bit more. And I'm sure it's going to be a demon. It's so bulky and great at setting up already, but that's all it can do. But now you just bulk up, you know, get real bulky and do your setup, use maybe a roost or two. And then after 2 or 3 turns of your setup, hazard placement, whatever, then you Mega Evolve and flip everything on its head. You Mega Evolve, flip it all upside down, and then you just start sweeping with Brave Birds. Mega Houndoom looks sick. And its special attack, it feels crazy high. I couldn't tell you what its special attack is, but it hits super hard. Yeah, 140. 140 is not anything to sneeze at. 115 speed's really good too. That's all it does is hit. That's all it's good at. But it hits really hard. Mega Tyranitar, I know I was just saying I like the whole same as more thing. But I feel like this one is a bit too much more of the same thing. And I feel like you get more mileage out of just regular Tyranitar, but we'll throw him in B tier because he looks pretty cool. Another controversial take. I love Sceptile. Sceptile is probably my favorite of the 3 Hoenn starters. I think his Mega looks kind of bad. I think his Mega looks kind of terrible. You know, and I know that like probably puts me on a list or something, but we'll give him B tier just because I like Sceptile. Mega Blaziken looks awesome. He's really good. You know, the speed boost is great just all the time. They'll get A tier. Mega Swampert, I'm again not a fan of the design. I think it's funny, but it's not quite doing it for me, you know? But he'll get B tier because you're not going to find a better Swift Swim user. Mega Gardevoir, really good, bulky, hits like a truck. Like what's its special attack? I spell Gardevoir. Is that it? Nope. There we go. We got there. Yeah, 165 special attack. 165 special attack. 135 special defense. You know, a ghost type move is not killing this unless you hit it with a poltergeist. 100 speed's nothing to sneeze at. And it gets pixelate. You're doing obscene amounts of damage for the bulk that you have. You know, we're gonna give it A tier. Mega Sableye. I think straight downgrade again. You know, I think it looks really cool. I like the giant gem, but you'd rather be running normal Sableye, so you have Prankster. You know, Magic Bounce doesn't give you the utility you need. I don't know people's opinion on Mega Mawile when it comes to design choices. I know people love it because it's like really, really strong, but I not only like the design is great. I think it's menacing. I think it looks super cool. And it's like one of the best to boot, you know. Mega Aggron, first off, single-handedly saved a Nuzlocke of Alpha Sapphire that I played. It was my second Nuzlocke I ever did, and it single-handedly saved it. And I think it's neat. I like how chunky it gets. I like that it loses the rock typing. And most importantly, it gets access to Body Press now. It gets access to Body Press coming off of a 230 base defense stat, and it gets Iron Defense. Pair it with literally anything to give longevity, like, I don't know, like a Clefairy, you know, Friend Guard and Life Dew or something. You're not killing this thing. This thing is staying there forever. You know, or put something that can put up screens even, you know. Mega Medicham, I've always joked that this looks like my sister. My sister teaches yoga. Maybe kind of rude of me. But yeah, I mean, it hits hard with relatively weak moves just because of pure power, but you know, I don't have anything notable to say beyond that. I think Mega Manectric looks so funny. I think like it's another Pokemon where I've seen people kind of clown on its design. I love it. I think the design's great, but it's, as far as I understand, pretty terrible. I don't know what its stat lines look like, but I don't imagine it does anything but move fast. Yeah, I have no clue how to spell Manectric. That's weird spelling. Oh, it's shiny actually goes hard. I've never seen a shiny before. Okay, 135 special, so it does hit relatively hard, and it's really fast, but I mean, you're gonna chunk half of this thing's health with a fake out if you really wanted to. I think Mega Sharpedo looks terrible. I don't think he's bad enough or looks terrible enough to go to F tier, but he doesn't look great. You know, and I gotta keep the music out of my ear for a second. Those earbuds are starting to hurt my ears. Mega Camerupt. I actually really enjoy the design of Mega Camerupt. I think that, you know, I like the one giant volcano. I like how fluffy they get. Probably a pretty great eruption user, and it's probably not doing much more than that. Go Camerupt. Another grayscale shiny. Oh, its special attack's only 145. Why does it have 120 attack? It doesn't need, I mean, unless you're ripping earthquakes, but I feel like all you want to do is just, you know, rip eruption. Bulky, super bulky, 100, 105, super slow, so perfect for Trick Room. Base 20 is like really, really low. But I don't think he's good enough to, you know, really have a niche up higher than a B tier. Mega Altaria is really cool. Mega Altaria is cool. It's the only dragon and fairy type. So that's neat, and I like how fluffy it looks, but I don't think it's good. Mega Banette doesn't have the longevity it needs to be able to do anything. It hits so hard. It hits so hard, and it gets Prankster. But normally, if you have Prankster, you don't want to hit hard. You just want to do Prankster stuff. But the design's phenomenal. My parents loved me just enough as a kid for me to not be fond of Absol or its Mega. But I can see the appeal. I can see that people like it. But personally for me, it's going B tier. Mega Glalie looks goofy. It's not that good. It has base 80 in every stat regularly, I'm pretty sure. And so what, does it just have base 100 as a Mega? I don't know how you do Glalie. Okay, yeah, I do. I'm a liar. Okay, yeah, so it's base 80s in every stat. And when you Mega... Oh, it doesn't just give you a flat 20 to everything. Well, I guess it couldn't because of HP doesn't go up. Attack 120, special attack 120. So it just gets a smidgen faster and it hits, you know, 40% or 50% harder, you know, which that's nothing to sneeze at. But 120 isn't all that high enough to be worth running uninvested secondary attacks. Since he looks goofy, they're not bad, so we'll just throw it C tier. Mega Salamence is gonna be one of the best Pokemon in the game. I'm not a very big fan of its design. I like that Roaring Moon kind of mimics the Mega Salamence design. I think that is a neat little tidbit. But just for, it's cool enough and it's viable enough where I think it earns A tier. If it's just viability, obviously S tier. I think Metagross, not only is it super solid, but I think it's so damn cool. Another S tier for me. I challenge you guys. Tell me which one is Latios and which one's Latias. Right now, you know, is the left one Latios or Latias? I think it's Latios. I think it's Latios. Oh, I was mistaken. It's Latias on the left. Regardless, I think they're terrible designs, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure they hit harder if you just have them hold their soul do instead of making them Mega. I'm gonna put both of them in F tier. Both these guys get S tier. Not only do they look awesome, but they're, you know, some of the best to ever do it. They're not even technically Megas, two of them. They're primal reversions. Yeah, so that implies that that's what they used to look like just all the time. Garchomp, you know, rule of cool, it's like B tier, but I'm gonna put it into C tier because this is the epitome of you'd rather be running normal Garchomp. You know, Mega Garchomp is just not gonna be doing it for you. Mega Lopunny, fighting type's pretty cool that it gets it, you know. It doesn't add anything defensively, it just makes it worse defensively.
But gaining the fighting type and also gaining Scrappy, so you can fake out, or I don't think it gets close combat, but or high jump kick ghost types. That's pretty cool. We'll give it a B tier. Mega Lucario, once again, rule of cool. It looks awesome, and it's fairly viable, but it looks so cool. We're gonna give it A tier. Mega Abomasnow, I think they did the best they could with what a Mega Abomasnow has to offer. It doesn't change the fact that it looks like, you know, like a giant cookie. It doesn't change that at all. So we'll toss it in C tier. I think it just does everything regular does, but just a little bit better. Mega Gallade did get a little bit better. I think it would be way better if they replaced its ability with sharpness. If they replaced its ability with sharpness, it would skyrocket. But right now the design lands it just like solidly in B tier. I think Mega Frostless looks so damn cool. I love the look of Mega Frostless. Because of that, I don't know how good it's gonna be. Once again, it's just speculation, but great design. What's Mega Embor's stat line? Because that'll change my opinion of it a lot. I want to see if they made it too fast. You know, 75 up from, what was it, 65? So they didn't make it that much faster. Yeah, a 75 defense and a 110 special defense with 110 HP. Like, people aren't getting rid of you very easy at all. It would have been nice to see it be less of a mixed attacker. You know, Reckless Embor is like one of the primary things to run. So we're gonna toss Mega Embor. I think he's fine. We're gonna toss him in B tier. Contrary to popular belief, I'm a huge fan of Mega Excadrill. Not quite S tier design in my opinion, but it's gonna be a monster on the field. Get Audino out of here. Never should have had a Mega. I love the design of Mega Scrafty. And it gets Parting Shot now. So because it's going to be pretty good. But it's just going to do what Emboar can do without needing it. Or not Emboar. It's going to do what Incineroar can do, but it needs a Mega Stone to do it as effectively. I love Mega Scoia'Bead. I think it looks so cool, but I don't imagine them being the best of the best. The design's okay. It's not that much better. Mega Chandelure, though, is phenomenal. I adore its design, and it's gonna be super strong. It's gonna hit like a nuke. It's gonna hit like a nuke. I think all of these are going to A tier just off design in general. In all reality, Chestnut's probably more of a B tier. Mega Pyroar not only looks stupid, but really did need a Mega. Here, massive spoiler warning. I know, Mint, you're still playing through the story. So mute for a second. But we're going to put this Pokemon up in S tier. You know, the lore, the design, you know, the just story implications of it, and it's gonna hit like a nuke, and it's way more specially defensive than it should be. Yeah, but you know, Eterna Floette, we're putting it at S tier. While we have the spoiler warning in effect, we're going to put Mega Zygarde up at S tier as well. 216 special attack with a signature move that hits fairy types. You're destroying everything. Mega Malamar, S tier design. It's gonna be duty, dude. It's gonna be so bad. I didn't even see where I dropped it. Hopefully it was somewhere in B tier. I don't see it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, goes to B tier. I actually am a huge fan of Mega Crabominable. I think it looks so cool, and water fighting I think is a much better type. I don't think Mega Dragalge hits hard enough to warrant a Mega Stone. Mega Hawlucha S tier design, and if they give it the right ability, I think it's going to be a phenomenal Pokemon. Mega Diancie, you know, I don't like that it kind of switches to being like hard hitting instead of bulky setup like it used to be. And its design is, you know, give or take. Drampa's gonna be pretty good. It's like gonna be a B tier mon, but it has like an A tier design, so we'll drop it up towards the top of B tier and call it a day. And then finally, Faintlings hit super good. You know, retreat up, and if you still get Defiant as a mega, this thing's gonna be a monster. Yeah, so it's the list. You know, let me know if you agree with it or not. You know, if you think I'm a dumbass, you know, go ahead and tell me. But this is like the definitive list in my personal opinion.